Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So as you can tell from the title and our lovely decor, today's reading is going to be fall themed. This was a suggestion that was made over on Patreon and it was very popular, so we're gonna do it over here. The suggestion came from Shelda, so thank you very much, Shelda, if you're watching this. We are going to be seeing what blessings are ready to fall into your lap within the next 3 months. So of course the theme is very autumnal for today's reading, but I know that some people watching this are in the southern hemisphere. This reading is still for you, and these messages will be for the next 3 months from whenever you are watching. I personally don't feel very autumnal either right now because I'm in Japan and it is 35 degrees today, which is like 95 Fahrenheit for my Americans. So definitely still feels like summer for me, but this reading is for the next 3 months from whenever you're watching. So if you're watching this in September, then these blessings will be coming in sometime in September, October, November. If you're watching in October, sometime in October, November, December. You get the picture. There are 3 groups to choose from today, so I'm going to show you each of these crystals up close one by one, and please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. For my group number 1s, we have some yellow hematoid quartz. For my group number 2s, we have some red hematoid quartz. And for my group number 3s, we have this green stone with an eye on it. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the yellow hematoid quartz, this is going to be your reading. So let's get right into it and see what blessings are ready to come into your life in the next 3 months. So your first card is Moon in Taurus. Now is a time for focusing on finances and practical matters. So this is a pretty straightforward message to start off with. My group number 1s, you are going to be receiving some sort of blessing in the money department. And with the message here of practical matters, I do think this is something that's going to help you out a lot. It seems like the blessing that is coming in for you is something that genuinely makes your life easier, more manageable. So this is a great card to start off with for those of you who have been struggling financially. But even if that's not the case, we all love a good financial blessing. With the Moon in Taurus here, there is going to be a full moon in Taurus within the rest of this year. I don't know the exact date, but it's going to be in the first week of November. So for my group number 1s, that first week of November could be particularly auspicious for you. If you are making any plans to like make a move towards something, to submit something, to put yourself out there in any kind of way, that first week of November might be a lucky time for you to do it, or that will be when you are receiving a significant blessing. Also, for my astrology girlies, if you are familiar with your birth chart, seeing where the sign of Taurus lies in your chart, like what house it's in, that could also give you some hints about what areas of your life are about to be blessed. But yeah, it looks like abundance and money is definitely one of the big blessings coming through for you in the next 3 months. We also, okay. Literally, the Empress is confirming this message. She is literally the card that talks about abundance and prosperity. She is ruled by the planet Venus, as is the sign of Taurus. Maybe some of you who chose this group have Taurus placements. Libra energy could be significant as well because that's the other sign that is ruled by Venus, and Pisces is exalted. No, Venus is exalted in Pisces. So Taurus, Libra, Pisces could be significant for some of you. It doesn't have to be, but that could be an extra confirmation. For some reason, my eyes are going to her dress and the fact that there are 6 flowers on it. So the number 6 could be significant for some of you too. But yeah, this is a double confirmation of abundance and prosperity. And I really like that we're seeing this, because this tells me that whatever financial blessings, like financial security, financial freedom that you are receiving in the next 3 months, it is here to stay. Like, it's not a one-off thing. So you could be getting, for example, a much better job than what you have now, a much better paying job, a much more fulfilling job. You could be getting a raise in your current job. An increase in your income that is going to last for a long time. I'm actually hearing these blessings are going to continue on for several years, and I just looked up and saw 333. You're entering into a several year period of increased finances and a more comfortable life. I actually heard the word lavish. I know not everybody like has the goal of living a lavish life, but you can think of this as a cushy and comfortable life. Like, you don't have anything to worry about when it comes to your finances and resources. Like, you are good, you are taken care of. And I feel like the phone dinging is a confirmation of that too. Some of you could be receiving like a text message or an email with good news about your job or your finances. Also, the planet of Venus and the sign of Taurus does make me think of beauty. That is one of the meanings. So there could be a blessing coming to your aesthetics, your physical appearance, like getting your look, your fashion, your body to be looking how you want it to look. For some of you, this could be more so about beautifying your home, beautifying your space. Please feel free to claim both of those if both of them resonate with you. This is going to be for a smaller section of those who are watching, but the Empress can also talk about blessings to do with fertility and parenthood. So that is in the cards for those of you who are wanting that. I know that's not going to be everybody, but I do have to mention it because it's here. So we also have patience, divine timing, maturing, persistence. So the blessings coming in for you in the next 3 months, it's something that you've already been waiting for quite some time. You do have a major arcana here, and we have this message of divine timing. So I do feel that for many of you, you have sensed that you are meant to receive this blessing in your lifetime, but perhaps that you can't force it. And actually, for some of you, I'm picking up this energy that anytime you tried to like force things to move forward faster, it just like didn't work out, or it maybe even backfired. And I feel like now it's just something that you have embraced, that you needed to be patient, and maybe you've been in a state of surrender, like whenever it happens is whenever it happens. There's sort of this like deeper knowing that it was meant to come in divine timing, and now this reading is saying, well, divine timing is now. Like, divine timing is within the next 3 months from when you are watching. I feel like the blessing that's coming your way, it's in an area of your life or pertaining to a goal where the progress has been pretty slow. And you're about to make, like in the next year, you will make more progress than you have in the past 5 years. So things are speeding up for you. We have Gabo, I think is how you say it. I feel like I never say these correctly. Swans could be a significant sign for some of you. Interesting that we were talking about the possibility of like the full moon in Taurus being significant, and then there's a full moon on this card. Actually, is there a full moon on all of them? No, there isn't. So yeah, full moon in Taurus. Mark your calendar. This is a rune that can talk about receiving a gift. So I do feel like for a lot of my group number ones, the majority of your blessings during this time are going to be material and tangible. So like physical possessions, money coming in, something that you can literally see with your physical eyes. I think you're also going through an upgrade in your physical environment. Many of you are going through upgrades in your fashion or in your physical appearance. This could be like your wardrobe, your fitness, hair and makeup, things like that. And I'm hearing that you have to look the part. So a lot of you could be changing your wardrobe or your physical appearance because of your aspirations, so that your look reflects the role that you're in, or your look reflects how you want to be perceived, like the person you want to be. You are looking the part. You are looking good. This can also talk about reciprocity. So for any of you, again, there's a message coming up about like if you're submitting something, if you are presenting something, if you're putting yourself out there, I feel like this card is affirming to you that it's going to be received well. People are picking up what you're putting down. People are buying what you're selling. It's like you are receiving a warm reception. People are responding to what you're doing. If you are posting something important, if you're publishing something important, there is going to be engagement around that. It is going to generate buzz. If you extend any offers or invitations to people during this time, it's going to be received well. So if you ask someone out, they're probably going to say yes. If you extend an offer of friendship to someone, they're probably going to accept it. If you send out a message to someone, they're probably going to respond. There's a feeling of like getting the response you want and getting that reciprocity that you want. And then we also have to destroy or to create. There's a pretty strong feminine energy throughout these cards, like with the Empress, with Taurus being a feminine sign ruled by Venus, which is of course feminine. And feminine energy has the power to create and also has the power to destroy. And this is kind of going back to that message about this being a blessing you've waited a long time for. I also think it's a blessing that you've put a lot of effort into, but that for the past like months or even years, you hadn't seen much progress. You hadn't seen many results. And I feel like maybe there was this part of you that sometimes felt the urge to just scrap everything, like just burn it all down, just delete it. Maybe you have deleted or taken down or destroyed things that you've created in the past because you're just like, oh, this isn't working. And if you're doing that for a rebranding, like if you're doing that to come back differently, then go crazy. But if you are destroying or deleting something from a place of giving up, I can't tell you what to do, group number one, but I really don't want you to give up. But it does feel like something, like a journey that at times has brought frustration and this feeling of like, should I just throw it all away? Should I just scrap everything? Should I just give up? Because your brain starts taking it that direction when you've been waiting for a long time, when you're not seeing the results you want. So I think not only is there joy in receiving this blessing, but there's a huge relief of like, oh my gosh, I was right all along. Oh my gosh, I wasn't crazy. And oh my gosh, all of this was worth it. All of my efforts were worth it. All of my hopes and prayers and emotional investment was worth it. I also want to say that the colors pink and purple could be significant. So we had pink, purple, the number 6, and swans, which were coming up as significant. And we had the signs Taurus, Libra, Pisces. So feel free to take those as confirmation. But we're going to get into, I wanted to roll a couple of dice. So I'm just going to take 2 dice from my dish. We have Gemini. Wasn't the phone going off when I pulled this card, like it dinged? So I feel like some of you are receiving a message very soon that makes you very happy. So like a message that's bringing you good news, like you've been accepted for something, you've been chosen for something, you passed something, you won something, if I didn't say that already, or the person you wanted to hear from is responding to you. if there's someone you want to hear from, you may have to message them first. But if you did already message them, they will be responding. And we have Jupiter. Jupiter in Gemini. Jupiter was in Gemini last year because it's in Cancer now. So something that you started last year, 2024, could be paying off now. Jupiter also talks about abundance, expansion. I'm hearing leveling up. You're kind of in your lucky era, because Jupiter also relates to the Wheel of Fortune in tarot. So getting out of stagnation, the situation is finally gaining momentum. Luck is finally working in your favor. Like, this is your time. It can't always be our time, can't always be our main character era, but this era is yours. It is your time. Maybe the next era will be someone else's, but this era is yours. You are also entering into an era of expressing yourself more freely, more unapologetically. You are no longer afraid of being misunderstood. It's almost like, if you want to misunderstand me, that's fine. Or like, if you don't get me, that's fine. I know my heart, I know my soul, I know what my intentions are, and the people who are meant for me also know my heart and soul. And I'm not gonna lose any sleep over like people misunderstanding me or having the wrong idea about me or thinking this and that about me. It's very freeing. And yeah, there's someone in your life who, I don't think you've ever been in quote unquote separation with them, but there's maybe long periods of minimal contact. You know, like you hear from them every few months or maybe even once a year, but they're always kind of like in the background. And this person who's been more of a background character in your life is now becoming like a main supporting role in your life. You're going to start seeing them a lot more frequently. And it does feel like you're becoming friends, or you're like working on something together. So you're going from literally like, I don't know, seeing them once a year to seeing them like once a week. Their frequency in your life is getting a lot stronger because it's time. Like, divine timing is playing a huge role in this. Like, it's just time for that to happen now. Okay, so let's get into your tarot. I do want to say too, Jupiter in Gemini, this corresponds to the Eight of Swords in tarot. So for those of you who tend to hold back your true colors, or hold back what you really want to say, or those of you who tend to underestimate yourself, that's going to be challenged during this time. Some of you are underestimating yourself and you don't even realize it. So that's going to be brought to light in the next 3 months. You're going to realize that you're a lot more capable and a lot more talented and just a lot more worthy of your blessings than you had previously thought. Okay, so for the tarot, okay, I don't know what this is, but I'm smelling, it's not even a specific food, but it's the smell of like fried food. And it feels like, it's reminding me of when I was a kid and after skiing, we would like go into the cafeteria and eat poutine. And it's like, you go from like the cold, wintry, dark outdoors into like this warm, toasty cafeteria. And then you're just like eating fried food and it's so comforting. I don't know if that's literal or metaphorical. Probably metaphorical in the sense that your dark and cold times are over. And this era that you're stepping into, it's warm, it's nourishing, it's cozy. But yeah, something about comfort food or like soul food could be significant for some of you. So for the tarot, we're going to be taking reversals, and we're also going to be taking the bottom of the deck card. And the bottom of the deck is going to represent why these blessings are coming now. What blessings are coming in for my group number ones? I'm hearing not everything is a lesson. You know, some things are just here for you to experience and enjoy. So maybe this new era feels less like the universe constantly testing you and giving you lessons, and it just feels like you're allowed to enjoy the moment. Whoop, that's a lot. We're not gonna take all those, but how many are there? There's 4. Okay, number 4 could be significant. Something's coming up about like skincare, or something skin related is improving. That could also be more metaphorically feeling comfortable in your own skin. We have Judgment in reverse. So that's very interesting because we were talking about holding back and underestimating yourself. And I feel like Judgment in reverse, I'm meant to take this very literally in the sense that you are releasing judgments on yourself. Many of you are finally, and I'm hearing like, you're not going to believe me when I say this, you're finally releasing a thought pattern, a negative thought pattern that you thought you would never be free from. And I think it has to do with a way you judge yourself, or a way that you are hard on yourself, an insecurity that you've had. And throughout your life, you know, there are some periods of your life where it's not as loud. There are other times where it's very loud, but it's never completely gone. Maybe you've even attached to this narrative of, you know, it never really goes away. I just saw 2222. That's probably what other people say too. When you have this insecurity, when you have this negative thought pattern, when you have this mental or emotional struggle, it never really goes away. Like it can get better. There are good periods and bad periods, but it never truly goes away. Which maybe that's the case for some, but I feel like you are healing from something for good, and it's not coming back to bother you anymore. You are completely free from this insecurity, this way of judging yourself. And you're finally seeing yourself how others see you, especially your loved ones. You used to assume that people were just being nice to you. Like, oh, they're just saying that because they're my friend. They're just saying that because they're my family member. They're just saying that because they like me and they want to be nice. Like, I'm not that great. Now that you've healed from these insecurities, you're like, oh damn, like they were actually telling the truth. I really am that great, and I can see it now. And I'm gonna start owning that. I don't mean for this to be like, I don't want to instill regret into this reading, but a message that came through was like, you have wasted time being hard on yourself. You've wasted time like not seeing how amazing you are when everybody else could see it. You've maybe even like not missed out, because you'll never miss what's meant for you, but you've maybe foregone opportunities in the past because you assumed that they weren't for you. But if you truly saw your greatness, you would know that you were ready and worthy of those opportunities. Maybe this is an era of you. This is an era of you boldly going after opportunities because you recognize that you're ready for them, that you're a match for them. What else is happening for my group number ones in the next 3 months? Just on that message of feeling comfortable in your own skin, for some of you that could pertain to even like feeling more comfortable in your sensuality or sexuality or something like that. That was coming through as well. We have the 10 of Wands. Oh, you're going to be busy. Group number one, you're going to be working very hard. I just looked up and saw 2525. That number's been following me around for years. I personally am convinced that it has something to do with like soulmate reunions or soul family reunions. Specifically those who share a greater mission or are part of a greater movement in the collective. So I think what this means is that yes, you are going to be quite busy in the next 3 months, but you're not going to be doing it alone. Sometimes we do see this in the 10 of Wands card. It's like you're carrying this heavy burden alone and nobody's helping you. I don't feel that here. I feel like, yes, you are doing very hard work. It's not always going to be easy. There's going to be times where you are quite tired, but it's very fulfilling and rewarding and you're not doing it alone. And yeah, I'm thinking about this again. This rune, Gabo, if that is how you say it, feel free to correct me in the comments. It kind of makes me think of the Six of Pentacles sometimes. So there's this feeling of receiving help. You're not doing it on your own. And everyone is pulling their weight. Everyone's putting in equal effort. You could be working in a team, or for some of you, I'm even seeing this setup where you are kind of like the main character and then there's a team gathering around you to help you or support you. But you're definitely getting a lot of work done in the next 3 months. But I will say, it doesn't seem like work that you dread. It seems like you're like, I'm working my ass off and I'm really tired, but I've never been happier. That's the vibe that I'm getting. Because this work that I'm doing is so rewarding and I'm doing it for myself as much as I'm doing it for others. What else? What blessings are coming for my group number ones? We have the Six of Wands in reverse. Now, I do believe you are receiving recognition. So I think the reason this is in reverse is because you're no longer motivated by that. Yeah, that's what it is. You're receiving recognition, but it's like you don't even care. And you may feel some kind of irony in this, where in the past, you were really motivated by receiving external validation and recognition. And that's when you didn't get it. And now that you don't care about it anymore, suddenly you're getting a ton of it. Okay, this is like really specific, but I just heard like niche celebrity. So that's definitely not for everyone, but you could be becoming kind of like very popular in a particular niche. But yeah, I think for most of you, the Six of Wands in reverse is like you're freeing yourself from the need for external validation and kind of going off of this message of you working very hard. The reason it's so fulfilling and it doesn't deplete you is because you have intrinsic motivation to do this work. You're doing the work for the sake of the work, for the love of the work, not because of something external that you want to gain. And the vibe that I'm getting from these cards, it does seem like many of you in the past were motivated by like making someone proud or getting someone's approval or getting recognition, getting likes if you're on social media, like the engagement aspect of it. And that sort of thing just doesn't motivate you anymore. It's like the work itself, the craft itself, the effort itself is what motivates you, no matter what response you get on the outside. Is there anything else that I want to mention? Just that all of this feels very freeing, you know? Freeing yourself from self-judgment and insecurities, freeing yourself from an unhealthy attachment to recognition or validation or making someone proud or meeting someone's expectations. No longer underestimating yourself. It's freeing up so much mental space for you. It's beautiful. So we are going to look at the bottom of the deck and see why these blessings are coming now. And we have the 5 of Cups. So it's kind of like they were waiting for you to claim them. Okay. It is a bit of a paradoxical message, or maybe it's not. I don't know. Because on one hand, I do feel like so much of this journey is divine timing. Like you entering into this new era, it is divine timing. But also it's happening because you actively chose it. I guess that doesn't have to be contradictory. It's like your free will and your actively choosing just happens to fall into the larger paradigm, ? Of divine timing. I see the word failure here, and I see retreat after failure here. So honestly, I do think that there's been disappointments in this journey. There's been loss. You've experienced loss. You've experienced rejection. You've experienced frustration. Moments where you felt like maybe you're just meant to give up and scrap everything. And all that's really happened here with this 5 of Cups is that you turned to look this way. You stopped looking at the cups that had fallen and you started looking towards the future. I'm hearing that there's some expression or quote, it's like, don't look back, you're not going that way, or don't look to the past, you're not going that way. Something like that. Basically saying, look forward because that's where you're headed. You stopped thinking about past mistakes. You stopped projecting what happened in the past onto your future. And you claimed the truth that this new era can be different and that you don't have to step into this new era as a person who like bears any semblance to your past self. Now, I want to correct myself a bit there because I do think you're taking a lot of amazing qualities that you've previously cultivated into this new era, but you're also leaving a lot of stuff behind that you don't identify with. And so I think that these blessings are coming because of a big perspective shift that has happened on your part, and you actively choosing to believe in a brighter future. You didn't have to stay hopeful after everything you've been through, but you chose to do that. And I think it's just something deeper in you knew, like, my time is now, my divine timing is now. And that's really it. Like, it's your time. That's why it's happening. Wow. Okay. Is there anything else? I really feel like November is a big month for you. And then this isn't in the next 3 months, but like going into the first half of 2026 is going to be really exciting too. And around like the summer of 2026, something could be really like blowing up in a good way. Some kind of climax, some kind of breakthrough. But you're already going to start feeling that things are gaining momentum. Literally from right now, from today, from tomorrow. It's already speeding up. Maybe you've already noticed this. So group number 1, those are all the messages that I have for you. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. Now I'm tasting raspberry jam, which is very random, and I have no idea what that means, but let's see, because sometimes I taste things and then it's that there's like a spiritual significance. Spiritually, wow. One of the things that raspberry symbolizes is patience and resilience. In some traditions, it's linked with the goddess Venus, which we talked about her during your reading, because you have the Empress and you have Taurus, linking it to nurturing and emotional openness. The fruit also signifies growth, renewal, and the importance of allowing things to mature at their own pace. That's literally this message, like divine timing, maturing, persistence, patience. Okay, say no more. That's why I tasted raspberry. Okay, anyway. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this, a wonderful next 3 months, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have a link down below. My tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram. I will have links to my extended readings and exclusive full-length pick a card readings, which are available on a few different platforms, YouTube memberships, Patreon, and Vimeo. It's all the same stuff, just on different platforms. So those will be linked down below as well. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I will also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, everyone who appeared in this reading, their higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 2s. So if you guys chose the red Hematoid Quartz, this is going to be your reading. There's a few things that I want to share with you before we get into the cards. The first one is that Yumi has entered the room, so she's going to be with us during your reading. If you are a Yumi fan, if you like to hear her snoring and her little sounds during the readings, then you have probably found your group. If you're not a fan of that, maybe group number 1 is for you, because she wasn't here during group number 1's reading. Don't know about group 3 yet, but the queen is with us right now. The other thing I wanted to mention is that I had just popped out to the convenience store before filming your reading, and a truck drove by and it had the number 111 on it. So I thought that that could be a significant angel number for you. Perhaps you've been seeing repeating ones, or maybe you've even been seeing angel numbers, for example, on license plates or on like the number of a bus, something like that. Literally just saw 111 right now on the camera timer. So if you're not seeing that number yet, I would definitely be on the lookout for it. You may even start to see that number before your blessings come in. And then the other thing was a visual that came to my mind's eye that was kind of interesting. So I saw it from first person's point of view, and I was like putting a quarter in a gumball machine, and there's a certain color of gumball that I hope is gonna come out. So I'm twisting the thing with anticipation, and then the color that I want comes out of all the colors it could have been. And the feeling that came with that vision is like a blessing that's coming for you is that you are going to get your first choice, your favorite thing, the thing that you want the most. But there's a feeling that this is happening out of luck. So an example that's coming to my mind is actually on a plane, and someone being like, I really hope that I get a window seat in the 5th row. Just an example, right? And then it's completely random, the seat assignment, but you get the exact seat that you wanted. Maybe you're getting really good seats at a concert, exactly where you want it to be. Or you're getting your first pick for, I don't know, you're getting your first pick for something. It's going to be different for everybody, but that's the feeling that I got when I saw that visual. All right, so we're going to get into your cards now and see what blessings are ready to come your way in the next 3 months. We have the cow, a new beginning or even a new life may be blooming. Beautiful. We have the 3 of Swords. Okay, some of you are moving on from heartbreak. You're finally starting to feel like yourself again and see the light at the end of the tunnel after a heartbreak. We have Lovers, divine counterpart, chemistry, and partnership. We have Awas, and we have You're small, you're doing your best, take a nap. Okay, I feel like my group number 2s have been through it. We're gonna get into it. First of all, we have this beautiful cow card that says a new beginning or even a new life may be blooming. And I noticed that on the Awas card, the phase of the moon that we have here is very, very close to being a new moon. So this tells me that a new beginning is just around the corner for you. And there's that message coming up again that you are going to feel like yourself again. You are going to feel renewed. You're going to feel rejuvenated. You're going to feel like your spark and your passion has come back. Some of you, like I said, are maybe getting over a heartbreak. So if you have gone through a breakup or a separation, this would indicate you recovering emotionally from that. But there was another interpretation coming to my mind that for those of you who have been single for a very long time, maybe you've been single forever, and that's something that you're not happy about, that is going to be changing. It's like you're entering into a new relationship, and that marks the end of sadness. That marks the end of pain. Some of you are entering into a new relationship after a previous relationship that was very painful or that you felt was unhealthy for you, that did not end well. So there's like a new chance at love, a renewal of some kind. And I'm also hearing that for those of you who have become wary of relationships or even of people in general, you're going to be proven wrong, and that is a blessing, because some of you are feeling quite wary after being backstabbed, after being hurt by someone, after having trust broken in like a really awful way. And you feel like, some of you may be feeling like you won't be able to open up your heart again, or you won't be able to trust again, or you're never going to find a good, healthy relationship. Like there's some negative feeling that you have about your potential in relationships or the potential of who is out there for you, and you're going to be proven wrong. Some of you are even feeling like maybe I just don't have a soulmate. Maybe my soulmate is just myself. Maybe I'm just going to be alone. And if this is your group, that seems like something that you accept, so to speak, with like sadness. Maybe it's just not in the cards for me in this life. It's that kind of feeling, and you are going to be proven wrong. Literally, I'm just noticing now that this Awas rune can also talk about partnerships. So that message is coming out twice. 3 of Swords relates to the sign of Libra, which is also about partnerships. So that's going to be the case for a lot of you. that there's blessings coming in relationships, and especially that you are healing from a heartbreak, healing from a betrayal, and you're able to open up your heart again. An alternate interpretation to this is if there has been someone around you who has been heartbroken in the past and as a result has struggled to open up with you and to trust you. This message could be about their healing as well. But things are definitely feeling fresh and new and hopeful in this next era. And this is making me think of the Demi Lovato song that's like, don't want to break your heart, want to give your heart a break. That's like the hook is like, let me give your heart a break. That's what I feel with this. Like, this card gave me the feeling that you've been through it and that mentally, emotionally, you could be quite tired. And this new era is going to be so drama-free and just healthy. And it's just such a much needed break for your heart and for your peace of mind. With the horse here, oh, and we have a cow too. So year of the horse as well as year of the ox could be significant, like someone born in those years. I also want to say rabbit and rooster, which I know is a lot, but for those of you who know like your Chinese zodiac year, or you know of someone else's, those years could be significant. So we're gonna roll a couple of dice. We have Taurus, so that kind of matches with the cow energy. And we have the 8th house. Okay, the 8th house definitely feels like trust and intimacy. So you have a blessing that is coming in the form of an intimate partnership, someone you can trust. There's either a commitment involved, like you're entering into a committed relationship, or there's a contract that you are signing with someone. This could even have to do with marriage or a long-term business partnership. And the sign of Taurus here is making me think of stability and security and something that is reliable. What you need to know is that you're entering into a partnership that is reliable, that is predictable, like in a good way. You can count on it being there. You can count on this person or people meaning what they say. It is sturdy, it is stable. And just looking at this sleeping cat again, it's like, this cat can sleep because it feels safe. They know that there's no threat around. They don't have to be alert. They can be at ease. They can relax. Some presence or some energy that once felt threatening or scary to your emotional well-being is going away. If there is anyone in your life that you feel very not at ease around, that you have to walk on eggshells, or in some way being in an environment with them feels like not safe or not peaceful, you will not have to be in that environment anymore. So for some of you, there could be a blessing about, for example, getting out of a workplace or getting out of a living situation that was toxic for your mental health, and entering into a new environment where you can let your guard down. You can be completely at ease, and you can start to trust people and build like solid, dependable relationships again. Yeah, so the signs coming through: Taurus, Libra, Scorpio, Gemini. These could be significant for some of you. They don't have to be, but it could be extra confirmation. And now we we are going to pull some tarot cards. So for this part, we're going to be taking reversals. And we're also going to take the bottom of the deck energy, and that's going to represent why these blessings are coming in at this time. Yumi's fallen asleep too. I don't know if this is true, but a friend of mine in Canada was saying the reason we feel soothed by the sound of a dog snoring is because our like very, very far back ancestors would sleep by the fire with dogs, and if the dog was snoring, it meant that they didn't perceive any threats around, because like the dog has really good hearing. So if they're asleep, it means that they don't hear any danger in the vicinity and they can just relax, and then it makes the humans feel at ease. I don't know if that's true. It sounds like a nice theory, but I think that fits really nicely with this cat sleeping. It's like there's no danger. We can relax now. For many of you, there's a blessing of, I want to hug this group. It's like some of you have been living in fight or flight, literally living in that state. And you don't have to do that anymore. What else does group number 2 need to know about their blessings? We have the 2 of Swords. So there's another Libra card. Difficult decisions, weighing options. Okay, right away. So this does feel like a fork in the road because that's often how it's interpreted. But this feels like it's not about debating what you really want to do. It's that deep down, you know what you want to do, but you don't know if you should, or you don't know if you can. So it's like you're standing here, there's path A, there's path B. And in your heart, you know that you want path A. So this is not a question of, do I want to go with A or do I want to go with B? It's a question of, I really want to go with A, but can I make it work? Can I make that work, or should I go with B because that's like the quote unquote right thing to do, or that's the quote unquote sensible thing to do, or that's all I'm capable of? So it's really about getting the courage to choose the path you want, knowing that you can. So I feel like a blessing coming your way is either you're going to receive some undeniable proof that you can choose the path you want, or in some way the other path is just gonna disappear and then the choice becomes obvious. You're getting the courage to choose what you really want to choose, and nobody can, this is another blessing, nobody can choose for you. And nobody can influence your choice. My group number 2s, it's like you either literally had a person in your life who would try to influence you how to make choices for yourself, or maybe they would quite literally tell you what to choose, and they can't do that anymore. Like they don't have that power anymore, or they're not in your life anymore. For others of you, this person kind of existed in your head. So even if they're not physically there, it's like you've kind of internalized them. So this is just one example, but let's say growing up you had a parent who didn't let you choose anything for yourself, and they would tell you what to do. And now it's like, even if they're not physically around you in the moment, you can hear their voice in your head telling you what to choose. And it's hard to ignore. So whether it's someone literally physically standing there or someone in your head, that person's influence is gone. You can hear your own voice again. and you can make choices for yourself. And the people or the person you're with now quite literally encourage you to choose for yourself and do what's best for you. What other blessings are coming for my group number 2s? Ah, we have the 4 of Wands. Look at this. The first keyword on the 4 of Wands in this deck is 1111. One of the very first things I said in this reading is that I saw 111, like 111 on a truck that was going by. Look out for that number if you're not already seeing it, because that's how you'll know your blessing is about to arrive. Homecoming, this definitely feels like coming home to yourself. There could be blessings coming to your literal house or to your living situation. Just going back to that very first message of one of the very first messages of this reading of you getting your first pick of something, that could be for a house or an apartment. You know, like maybe there's 2 or 3 options you were considering, but this is really your number 1 choice and you end up getting your first choice. Yeah, moving into a more favorable living situation, if you've been wanting to do that. Sometimes I also see the 4 of Wands as working from home. So if you've been wanting to transition to that, you'll be able to, or you'll get to keep doing that if you've already been working at home. Getting to spend more time at home, getting to spend more time with family or your chosen family. We also have marriage here as one of the keywords. The 4 of Wands can talk about weddings or marriage, and that was one of the things we saw here in the first part of your reading. So you could be getting engaged, getting married, meeting the person who will one day be your spouse. Some of you could be adopting an animal as well. That's coming through. There's something entering your home that, or someone, I should say, entering your home that is bringing you a lot of happiness. If there's someone living far away from you who you miss, they could be moving back to be closer to you, or maybe you're moving to be closer to them. I see you spending more time with people in this new era, but not just anyone, like spending time with people you truly love, people who truly make you feel seen. I'm having visuals of you going over to a friend's house, friend coming over to your house, and it's just nice to have someone around. Even if you're not actively doing stuff together the whole time, just being in each other's presence is really soothing. Feeling a sense of belonging. Woo! And we have the Hanged Man in reverse. If there's a certain area of your life where you've felt that things are stagnant or things are on hold, that is going to be changing. We have the keyword indecision here. So there's an end to indecision. And it really feels like this comes down to you are no longer afraid of choosing yourself. And we're going to look at this in a second. We're going to look at the bottom of the deck card to see why these blessings are coming to you, but I do think that is one of the reasons. You're no longer afraid to choose yourself. And you can see clearly now. Some of you could be walking away from a situation where I'm seeing, like, you know, when you dangle a carrot in front of a horse, you were in a situation that felt like that, and you're walking away from that. So, for example, this could be a situationship where the other person was dangling commitment in front of you, but never actually committed, or a job where they were dangling a promotion in front of you, but they never actually gave it to you, and just trying to keep you there a bit longer. This could also be a situation where you stuck around because you're like, no, it's gonna change soon, it's gonna get better soon, but then it just never does. that carrot is being taken away. And this feels like choosing yourself. For those of you who are struggling with the decision of should I stay or should I walk away, whatever it might be, should I stay or should I move on? See if you can meditate on each option and ask yourself, what does this represent? Because the right answer is going to be the one that represents choosing yourself, that feels like choosing yourself. So if staying in the situation feels like choosing yourself, then that will be the answer for you. If walking away feels like choosing yourself, then that will be the answer for you. And if the answer doesn't come up immediately, that's okay. But it's less about the staying or the going, but the vibrational signature of it and what it really means for you. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, I feel like Taurus energy could be significant for many of you. In this deck, it's attributed to Virgo, but I'm familiar with the Knights being fixed signs. Either way is fine, but especially because we've previously talked about Taurus energy, and the Knight of Pentacles is very stable and consistent. It just feels Taurian to me. So I definitely think that this next era of your life feels settled and stable, and most importantly, it feels safe. Something I feel called to say right now is that I feel like there's been points in your journey that you might perceive as I'm not making progress, or I'm not growing, or I'm not taking care of myself, I'm hearing. But all along you were growing, all along you were healing. Everything was part of your journey. I'm also noticing like this horse and this horse look similar, obviously because they're both white horses, but the fact that one of the meanings of this card is partnership, it's because of the relationship between humans and horses. So at least I think so. Historically, that relationship was very important. You can correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not very knowledgeable on runes, but that is what I think. And as humans, we can go much farther and do things that we normally wouldn't be able to do because of our horse companions. So again, I feel like there's a message about a stagnant situation ending, and with this partnership or partnerships that are coming into your life, you're going to be able to go farther than you could have gone on your own because of the support, because of the guidance, just because of the joy that is in your life. The joy propels you forward. There's something that you are meant to do as part of your life purpose, as part of your way of serving the collective. And these partnerships, or this one very significant partnership, is going to help you do that. And that's why it's coming into your life now. I feel like I use this as an example a lot, but let's say part of your life purpose is to write a book. And so this person coming into your life is the one who makes you feel like you can do it, is a catalyst for you in some way, is a source of inspiration for you in some way. Or this person provides you with the support that you need in your life so that you're able to work on it and sustain your work. They form a team with you in some way that allows you to fulfill your individual calling. It does sort of feel like part of your life purpose is to make something that serves the collective, to offer your knowledge to the collective, but you cannot do this work unless you are nurtured and supported and uplifted. I mean, I could say that for most people, but remember that, yes, you have this mission to serve the collective, but you also deserve to and need to be sustained and supported in the process. For some of you, I'm getting this feeling like you've done like a lot of work for free, like unpaid labor or unseen labor behind the scenes. And your guides are saying, no, like we're gonna get you paid for this work that you're doing because it's valuable. And some of you, not all of you, but you could feel uncomfortable with that. Like the idea of being compensated for this work, or maybe just the idea of asking for compensation. And your guides, your ancestors are saying like, no, you maybe don't see the value of what you're bringing to the world. Like you need to be compensated for your knowledge, for your expertise, just for your straight up efforts. Okay, so something you've been doing for a long time without a lot of payoff, you're about to start getting consistent payoff for it. And your ancestors are making sure that you have a reliable support system. It's like, we're not going to tolerate any funny business around this because you are precious, and because also you're doing meaningful work right now, or you're about to embark on this journey of doing meaningful work to serve the collective, and you need to be supported. And everybody deserves support, and that includes you. It feels like you've been in this era of giving and giving and giving, and in this new era, you are still giving, but you're simultaneously receiving. So the energy keeps circulating. In the past, you've been in this energy of just one-sidedly giving, and that was not sustainable or realistic or fair. So now you get to keep giving and keep doing the work and keep serving others while you are also sustained and supported by the people in your life. Okay, group number 2's. Ooh, I just knocked the table, sorry. Those are all the messages that I have for you. So I'm gonna end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you are watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can check out my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, our exclusive readings. So we have extended readings that we do here on the channel, and we also have full-length exclusive pick a card readings. So those are going to be linked down below. They're available on a few different platforms: YouTube memberships, Patreon, as well as Vimeo. It's the same content on all of them, just different platforms. So those will be linked down below as well. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here. And I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, to anyone who appeared in this reading, to their higher self, and to your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 3s. So if you guys chose this green stone with an eye on it, this is going to be your reading. So let's get right into it. We're going to start with these cards to see what blessings are ready to come into your life within the next 3 months. So the first card that we have is Cat. Make time to focus on your own spiritual well-being and connect to the metaphysical world around you. Okay, right away, this is making me think that there is a spirit guide of some sort who wants to connect with you. And so this will be a guide who is about to introduce themselves to you in a more formal way. Or perhaps you have just started working with them recently, or you've just become aware of their presence recently, and this is them saying that they want to work more closely with you, or they would like to connect with you more frequently in your day-to-day life on a deeper level. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have talents, on the right path. Okay, this is another blessing for you. Things that you have been experiencing in the non-physical realms are now grounding themselves in the physical realms. Like your dreams, your visions, your ideas, your goals, even psychic experiences that you've had. These energies are going to start grounding themselves and being reflected in your physical reality. So this has big, like, manifesting your dreams energy. Something else that is coming through is that you are mastering a skill or a talent of yours. I wouldn't necessarily categorize this as a blessing that is falling into your lap like we have in the title. I think this is a blessing that you worked really hard for. I will say that you likely already possessed an innate gift for something, probably from your past lives. So you were kind of born with this talent already, but you've worked very hard to refine it and master it in this lifetime. So in the next 3 months, you are getting a big confirmation of this. You're getting proof of how far you've come. One example that's coming to my mind is like if you play an instrument and you're finally perfecting your performance of a really difficult piece. Like you can play it from start to finish flawlessly. That's a big milestone for you. Or perhaps you have passed an exam regarding this skill or talent. Maybe you got a really good mark on the exam. Maybe you get some kind of certification that not a lot of people have pertaining to this skill or talent. You're getting a great deal of recognition. There's like some undeniable 3D proof that you are in fact a master, that you are in fact very advanced. And it's this combination of you having an innate gift and then also putting in the 3D work and consistency, which I'm hearing is not always fun, because you can love doing something, but still that repetition of practicing something over and over and over again, that can get boring, that can get bleak, but you did it anyway. So no, it did not just fall into your lap. You really earned it, but congratulations. There's definitely a skill that you're mastering, and I really like that it says you're on the right path on this card. So I think you're going to use this gift for wonderful things, to make big achievements in this lifetime, or to impact, help, inspire a lot of people. It's going to be, if it hasn't already, be a great tool for self-discovery. Some of you could even be turning your talents into a career, monetizing it in some way, if that's something you want to do. Actually, I feel like that's what this guide wants to help you with. This is a guide who favors those with gifts like yours. They most frequently work with people who have gifts like yours. This could be like an angel or a deity. It's someone who has an affinity for what you do. They may sometimes even be depicted with an object relating to what you do. So I think this is like a guitar or some kind of string instrument. It kind of looks like that. So let's just say that's your thing for this example. And then the guide who wants to work with you is a deity who is sometimes depicted like holding a string instrument. There will be some hints around you of who this is if you don't already know, but the reason they want to work with you is because of your specific skill set, your specific gifts, your specific passion. It's not by mistake that you have this passion and that you're choosing to pursue it. You're going to do amazing things with it. You probably already have. And this guide kind of wants to walk alongside you and help you reach your fullest potential, and also keep you protected on your journey. That's coming through as well. There's something coming through about your hair too. I don't know, like a blessing regarding your hair. I don't know, maybe that's like hair growth, or finding a hairstyle that you like, or a hair color that suits you, or something like that. I don't know, that was very random. We have Kenaz, Yeah, you're mastering a skill, you're gaining knowledge. A lot of you could be also gaining clarity about your life purpose. I'm seeing sort of two different, similar but different interpretations. For some of you, you've been going on this journey without really having an awareness of the spiritual context. Like you've just been going through the motions here in the 3D, working towards something. And now this blessing is that you're getting the spiritual context of why you're doing this. Like, oh, this is why my soul chose this path. This is the greater spiritual meaning behind it because I'm meant to do XYZ in this lifetime. I'm meant to serve the collective in XYZ way in this lifetime. It's like this guide is showing you the book, showing you the script. You can sort of peek behind the curtain, so to speak, of your life's script and kind of see what your soul is working on. Ooh, this is so exciting. And it's gonna make a lot of sense of what you've experienced up until now, why you have the skills you do, why you feel called to study or work on the things that you do, and sort of seeing how those all come together. So for some of you, the blessing is gaining spiritual context. And then the other interpretation is sort of the flip side of this. So for others of you, maybe you've always intuitively felt that you have this life purpose and that you have this destiny. And now you're getting the clarity about how that actually is meant to play out in the 3D. So you can start taking your deep knowing and applying it to the 3D and seeing what that's actually going to look like in the physical and start taking action towards your purpose. This is very exciting energy, group number 3. And we also have fight like a queen. So this guide who is helping you, they are most likely feminine or depicted as a female, a beautiful feminine presence. Yes. And I feel like this represents you as well, because you're very hardworking and very strict when it comes to yourself. You've been very hungry on this journey and tireless, but you fight for your goals with grace. There's this feeling of you make it look easy, or like you look good doing it. You have this combination of like hard work and grit, I think is the word, and this toughness to you, but then you're also so graceful and beautiful. And that balance is quite unique. You're a very beautiful person and a very beautiful soul. And you're stepping into something big right now. I feel like in this next era, you're going to be practicing a lot, studying a lot, planning a lot, planning your next steps, and you're excited about what's to come. So let's roll a couple of dice. We have number 2, that's the second house. So this is likely going to affect your career and how you make money. And we have Virgo, which feels like the sign of getting your ducks in a row. You're making plans for your next moves in your career. I just heard you ain't seen nothing yet. Like you're about to unleash something on us, group number 3. I feel like by we I mean the collective, we still haven't seen how far your talents go. I'm like, ooh, I'm getting chills. Like I'm so excited for you. We still haven't seen how far your talents go. And you are showing us this side of you that is like hungry and ambitious and passionate and committed to showing your best work and showing your best self. I'm hearing that meme that's like, you know, I had to do it to him. That's gonna be you. We could have some Leo risings in this group, or significant Leo placements with this cat here, and also Virgo in the second house would very often be a Leo rising. If not, if you know your birth chart and you feel called to, I might check where Leo is. Check what house the sign of Leo is in your birth chart, because that could indicate an area of your life that is going to be blessed. Leo and Virgo. Okay, so we're getting into the tarot now, and we are going to take reversals for the tarot. We're also going to take the bottom of the deck energy, and that's the bottom of the deck is going to represent why these blessings are coming now. What does group number 3 need to know about these blessings? We have the Knight of Wands in reverse. Immediately, I'm hearing the word humble. Delays, impatience, frustrations. This is more so reading as you being antsy and anxious to start this new era. There's either going to be some delays, divinely guided delays, for initiating this new era, or this is kind of a warning message against moving too quickly just because you're excited. So it's as if you're preparing something to share with the world and you're really, really excited about it and you just want to go for it right now. But if you're being honest with yourself, you could take a couple more weeks or a couple more months to perfect it. There's this feeling I'm hearing, I just want to hit send right now. And maybe that's literal for some of you. Like you've drafted a message to someone, or you've prepared an application for something and you're like, I just want to hit send right now. And that's good. Like that excitement and that passion is good. And we certainly don't want to dilly-dally on this. But I think your guide is saying, like, if you're being honest with yourself, you know that if you just take a little bit more time, you can perfect it a little bit more. You have that in you. So there's, especially with this, like the Knight of Wands being reversed and the Knight of Pentacles being upright, there's definitely a feeling of take your time and don't rush. I just feel you like, I can't wait to unveil this new me, or I can't wait to share what I've been working on. Like I just want to, I want to publish it right now. I want to post it right now. I want to submit it right now, whatever it is. And yeah, your guide is saying there's definitely no need to rush here. And then also, yeah, like we have reckless, impatience. The word humble was coming to my mind, which is funny because on the deck, actually one of the keywords is arrogance. Okay, when you've spent so long being humble, when you start to show off your gifts and confidently advocate for yourself, it could feel cocky at first. It sort of reminds me of that energy when people are recovering from people-pleasing tendencies and they start to set boundaries and they feel like they're being so selfish. They feel like they're in their villain era, but it's really just them being healthy and choosing themselves. So I feel like you're stepping into an era where you are going to be more confident about your skills and maybe promoting yourself, or just, speaking highly about yourself and what you can do, as you should. And it will become comfortable in time. But at first you might feel like, oh my gosh, I'm like bragging, or I'm speaking too highly of myself. I'm being cocky. Like it could feel a little bit uncomfortable at first for some of you. Something to keep in mind is just that any delays you're experiencing will be in your favor. Some delays you're experiencing because other people need time to catch up to you, I'm hearing, or the collective needs time to catch up. Some of you are making something or working on something, or you have an idea that's kind of ahead of your time. And some others might need some time to catch up with you or to fully get it, I'm hearing. I also feel for many of you, we're coming to a moment where like we're culturally aligned with what you're doing. The collective is growing interest in specifically what you're doing. So this is a very like fertile time for you. To use myself as an example, it would be like if the general public is all starting to get really interested in tarot, because that's just where we are culturally. And then I see an uptick in people coming to my channel. There's, just one example, of course, apply it to your situation. But I feel like there's something like that happening for you, where the specific thing that you do for work or the specific thing that you're knowledgeable about, the general collective is starting to get interested in that, and that's going to benefit you. And that tells me whatever you're passionate about, it's really from your soul. It's from a past life. Whatever you're passionate about or whatever you feel drawn to in this lifetime, it's from a past life. You've been working on this for multiple lifetimes. The reason I say that is because it's clear to me you didn't get into this path just because of some trend. You didn't get into this path just because like that's what everyone else was doing. In fact, some of you have maybe even been made to feel like a black sheep or weird for the path that you're pursuing. Some of you could be having a sort of redemption moment, if that's the right word, where people used to think your path was weird and now suddenly everybody wants to do it. It would be like, and this is a made up story, but it would be like if someone in my life 5 years ago was like, oh, you're doing tarot readings? You really believe in that? And then 5 years later, they're like, can you do a reading for me? Like there's some, the tables are turning kind of vibe going on here. What else does, oh, interesting. Group number 1 got this card as well, and they also got it in the reverse. Judgment in reverse. So I'm kind of feeling like interpreting it in a similar way, which is ridding yourself of self-judgments. I will say, I do think you have the ability of being honest with yourself when you know you could do better, when you know that something needs improvement. But there's a fine line between giving yourself constructive criticism, which I think you can do, and you do it, and just judging yourself and being mean to yourself. We do have this Virgo energy here, so I do feel like my group number 3s, you are quite particular about your work and your approach, and you hold yourself to a high standard because you know you're capable of it. But sometimes you might be unnecessarily harsh on yourself, and I think one of your blessings is being able to recover from that. And an easy way to catch yourself doing this is to ask yourself, like, is this really helping me? if I sit with this voice in my head that's saying I didn't do a good enough job, are they actually offering me something that can help me in the future? Is there a takeaway from what they're saying? Or is this voice just trying to make me feel bad? There's perhaps an inner critic that is being not silenced, but that is softening, that is learning how to deliver its feedback with more kindness to yourself. What else do my group number 3s need to know? We have the King of Cups. Devoted, emotionally mature and balanced, intuitive, compassionate, supportive, and empath. There's also a blessing coming your way when it comes to matters of the heart. And this feels like family, related to family, but I don't know if it's like the family you were born into or a family that you have created. Of course, it could be both, but there's a wish regarding family that's coming true. So there could be a family reunion or a reconciliation amongst family members. There could be a little one joining your family, like whether that's through yourself or through a sibling. You could be starting a family or growing your family if that's been a wish of yours, or coming into union with the person you will have a family with. I will say this does feel distinctly like a blood-related family. So it's a blessing related to like your, like immediate parents, siblings, or spouse and children. And there's a feeling of things being peaceful, harmonious, settled. Maybe for some of you, this is the wish of settling down, like meeting someone you can settle down with, or some burdens, leaving your family alone. Things are becoming peaceful. There's healing that is happening here. It could be an emotional healing or a physical healing that's happening within your family. But with this being the King of Cups, it feels like your heart's desire is finally taking on its final form. The thing your heart desired for your long-term future is arriving. Or you can finally see that future for yourself. Judging from how the reading has been up until now, it does appear to me that you're someone who's very ambitious, and I wouldn't be surprised if you have devoted a lot of your time and energy to like your studies or your career, mastering your skills, personal growth and development in that sense. And if you resonate with that, I want you to know that you don't have to choose between thriving professionally and thriving like in your home and family life. I feel very much this King of Cups is saying that you get both. You get to have both in this lifetime. Maybe you didn't in a previous lifetime. In a previous lifetime, maybe you invested everything into your craft and then weren't able to fulfill the matters of the heart, like, getting married or having a family or whatever it might be, spending time with your family. Or maybe in a previous life, you devoted so much to your family and then you didn't get to pursue your own like professional, academic, creative ambitions. Maybe you already know which one you fall under. Maybe it's something you want to meditate on. But I think a big lesson and blessing for you in this lifetime is that you get to have both. You don't have to choose. Yeah. And there's something, this is kind of an incomplete phrase that I just heard, but I heard who you are when no one's looking. So maybe that means something to someone. Wow. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. So that's 2 knights in reverse now that are kind of saying the same thing, which is there's no rush. Take your time. You may be someone who reaches certain milestones later in your life compared to the average person. For example, graduating from university in your 30s, or starting a family in your 40s, or, you know, something like that. And I just say those as examples because it's higher than the quote unquote conventional, whatever that means, age to do those things. But there's no need to rush. There may be a particular area where you're a late bloomer, but that doesn't mean that the blessing isn't coming. And I think this goes very much with the King of Cups that says you can have it all. You can be blessed in worldly and in spiritual matters in this lifetime, as long as you don't rush. Allow your life the time it needs to unfold. There's no rush. Like the keywords here, oh, it says rash, which is kind of similar to rush. Forceful, bully, vicious. I feel like that could be you being unkind to yourself. Like, why haven't I been able to manifest this? Why hasn't this happened yet? Unfocused. It's like you need to trust that there's going to be time for you to experience everything you want to experience. If you're panicking and feel like you need to manifest it all at once and you need to have so many things going for you at once, you're never going to be fully present, because you'll be thriving in this one area of life, and rather than sitting in that and enjoying that, you'll be thinking about, well, I haven't done this yet. I haven't been thriving in this area of my life yet. I haven't manifested this thing over here yet. And your guide is saying, like, relax, like take a breath. You will manifest all of it. You will experience all of it in its own time. There's no rush. I also heard you're still young. I don't know how old you are, but this guide is assuring me you are still young and you still have time to do everything you want to do. And this is making me emotional. It's like you still have so much life to live. Ooh, and it's kind of hurting in my heart, like in the middle of my heart, that there's something you've really, really wanted to experience in this lifetime, which is probably related to a past life wound, which is why it weighs so much on you. You want to experience it so badly, and it's like your higher self and your guides, they can see it. They can see it in your script. Like, they know that it's there. And then they see you here being in pain because you don't have it yet, and you feel like you should already have it, and maybe the people around you have it. And I've probably said this like 80 times during your reading, but they just want to comfort you and let you know that there's no rush. And it is in your story. Maybe it's a couple chapters later than it appears in other people's stories, but it's in there. And when you're older, you will probably look back and feel like, I should have just enjoyed the moment. If I knew that this blessing was eventually coming for me, I could have just relaxed and enjoyed the moment. It's like you feel anxious to just, and this, I want to say this, group number 3, like, I think everything you desire and everything you're pursuing is divinely guided, but make sure that you're not pressuring yourself to the point that it starts to feel like a box to check in your life. So, you know, for example, if you really want to get married, this reading is saying, well, that's because you're meant to and it's divinely guided for you. But be wary of hyper focusing on it so much that you start thinking like, I just want it to happen, as if you just want to check off that box of I did it, I got married. If that makes sense. For some reason, I'm looking at T and K, like talents and kenas, the like TK or KT. Maybe the name Katie is significant. Well, cat is with a C, but CT or KT. The names like Katie, Catherine, Katya, Kathy, you know, those kinds of names. Could be significant. Katrina. Okay, I think you get it. And it could also be a name in a different language that has a similar sound. Even Knight, like, has K and the T, and King of Cups has the K and the C. I don't know. I think those are all the messages. It's interesting how many court cards came out. Like, out of the 5 tarot cards, they were all court cards except for one. Archangel Gabriel could be significant for some of you because Archangel Gabriel is often associated with the Judgment card. And I don't really know what the significance is of all these court cards, but I just wanted to mention it, especially knights. There's a lot of knights. So yeah, literally with like, it's still early in your journey. You're not a page, like you're not a baby, you're not a beginner, but you still have a long way to go. So it's not fair to put pressure on yourself that you should have it all figured out. I also think the knights are representing movement. Like, things are moving in your life, things are progressing. There's been a common message throughout all the groups today that it's the end of stagnation. A stagnant situation is coming to an end, and the situation is gaining momentum. I kind of think all of these court cards do represent an aspect of you and the person you're becoming. Oh, that message of who you are when no one's looking. I think the continuation of that message is make sure that you're happy with yourself when no one's looking. Like, you're happy with the person you are when no one's looking. If you're happy with yourself, then others can think whatever. It reminds me, I used to have, I'm sure I still have it somewhere, but it was a paper, like a little slip that I got from a temple. And it was a quote from an empress from history. And she had said, if you consult your innermost heart and still feel no shame, then let people like talk on as they please. Now I'm thinking of Babylon. Wait, that's Lady Gaga. Babble on. Okay, I don't really think there's any messages in this lyrics, but it is a bop, so maybe I'm gonna link it for you. Anyway, yeah. Actually, speaking of Babylon, Babylon can refer to an ancient Mesopotamian city and cultural region located in modern-day Iraq. Something about Mesopotamia or that region. Maybe there's some hints about who this guide is. I will leave you with that. Yeah. Date formed 2300 BC. Cool. Okay. Group number 3, thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal, I almost said personal reading, not personal reading Instagram, my personal Instagram where we don't do readings. You can check out my extended readings, the extended readings that we do here on this channel, as well as exclusive full-length pick a card readings. Those are available on a few different platforms, YouTube memberships, Patreon, as well as Vimeo. So I'll have those linked down below as well. It's all the same content, just on different platforms. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I will also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, everyone who appeared in this reading, their higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and the guide who was so prominent in today's reading. I thank them for coming forward as well. And I'm sending love to your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!